Episode 6. Stephanie. Marcy's mind spun after receiving the news that she would meet Alpha Damon, the alpha of the notorious Dark Howlers pack, and her future husband, the next day. She hadn't yet recovered from finding, and rejecting, her mate, and now she needed to think about another man. This wasn't just any man. Alpha Damon carried a grim reputation on the battlefield and an even worse reputation with women. Seeking solitude to think, Marcy went to her room. To her horror, Nora followed 2 steps behind, cooing about how this turned out to be the best thing ever. Marcy felt exasperated when Nora entered her room. "What do you know about Alpha Damon?" Marcy asked irritably. Nora whipped out her phone. "Very handsome. Someone took this photo 2 months ago when he visited the Silverburn Pack. I have a friend there, so we exchanged hottie-related information, and Damon qualifies as a hottie. I can't believe he's coming here." Marcy looked at the photo Nora showed her. She had to admit, he looked handsome. "I guess with you marrying him, I'll have the hottest info on him." Nora grinned at Marcy. "You'll be okay with me reporting things to my friends about your hot husband, right? Damon being married won't make him any less handsome, and we're only talking and looking, not touching." Marcy let out an exasperated sigh. "Take as many photos as you want. It's not like I own the guy. This all came from my father for the benefit of the pack. No one asked how I feel about this." Nora cocked an eyebrow at Marcy. "How do your feelings change the fact that you're set to marry the hottest werewolf in North America? He has looks, money, and thousands of warriors at his disposal. I can only imagine how lavish his mansion must be. His territory stretches larger than ours and has forests, lakes, and mountains as far as your eyes can reach. It will all be yours." "What about his womanizing?" Marcy raised an eyebrow. Nora rolled her eyes as if Marcy asked something silly. "Hello? Damon leads as the alpha of the largest pack in North America. He never lost a challenge, and he's young, handsome, and single. Do you expect him to be a monk? Women throw themselves at him. If he says a word, an endless line of beauties will form and wait for him to claim them." Marcy groaned. "I don't mean hookups. Didn't you hear about numerous women offering themselves as brides and Alpha Damon rejecting them?" Nora shrugged. 1 or 100. Why does that matter? Do you put yourself on the same level as them? You're beautiful, well-educated, and your father leads as the alpha of the Red Moon Pack. Even if Alpha Damon doesn't fall for you right away, as long as he doesn't reject you, you'll get your chance to seduce him." Marcy agreed with this assessment. She possessed all the qualities Nora mentioned and more. She hadn't met a guy who refused her. No matter how many layers Alpha Damon had around him, Marcy felt confident that she could win him over. At the mention of rejection, Marcy remembered George, the Greek god who gave her a few minutes of bliss before the harsh truth plunged her into agony. Did Damon have a mate or someone he preferred? Marcy felt confident that a guy like Damon probably had several women at home willing to please him. What if he had a harem? "Do you know if Alpha Damon found his mate?" "Maybe he did, and things didn't work out," Nora mused. "But you should focus on the fact that he's available. After you complete the mating ceremony, it won't matter if his mate exists out there, because the bond between the 2 of you will form and overshadow any others. You'll become the Luna of the most powerful pack, and he'll adore you." Marcy pursed her lips while thinking about Nora's words. Luna, Marcy. Luna of the most powerful pack in North America. It didn't sound bad. The fact that Alpha Damon looked young and good-looking added a bonus. Only a fool would pass such an opportunity. Marcy told herself that no matter what mate the moon goddess set for her, she could choose her mate. If they completed the mating process, any other bond would disappear, including this longing Marcy felt for George. Marcy put her hand over her chest. She rejected him. why did she still feel restless whenever she thought of him? Are you okay? Yes. Marcy quickly plastered a smile on her face. Tomorrow's a big day. Help me pick what to wear. Unfortunately, I didn't pack some of my favorite dresses, and we might need to go shopping. Nora squealed at the possibility of shopping, her favorite pastime. While Marcy and Nora went through Marcy's closet, at the Dark Howler's pack, Damon was exiting the pack house. Just like every time he left for longer than one day, he stopped and observed the 3-story-high majestic building. The first floor contained common rooms, where pack members gathered and entertained guests. The second floor housed offices, guest bedrooms, and Beta's quarters. The third floor remained reserved for Alpha and his family. Damon remembered the time when the pack house buzzed with life. When he lived as a child, it always buzzed with activity. His mother, Luna Violet, knew how to attract people. She exuded kindness, with the warmest smile under the moon, and everyone loved her. Now, just a handful of them stayed in this huge mansion. Regular pack members had their own dwellings in the area, and they came to the pack house only when they had business or when Alpha hosted an event, which didn't happen very often. It felt quiet. Damon turned to the car where Caden and Maya waited for him. The time came to head to the Red Moon Pack and meet Marcy, the next candidate for his Luna. "Cheer up!" Caden shouted from the car at Damon. "You look like you're going to a funeral, and not to get laid. The mental image of a fine woman like Marcy spreading her legs for you should make you happy." Maya slapped Caden over her shoulder. "What?" Caden tried to sound innocent. Maya rolled her eyes at him. "Why can't you pick your words a bit better?" Maya scolded him. Caden smirked. "Since when do you mind when I talk dirty?" "It's fine when it's only the two of us," Maya whispered. Caden chuckled before pulling her closer to give her a smacking kiss on the lips. Damon observed their lovers' banter, and it made him feel even more unenthusiastic about the upcoming trip. It would be a long drive, and he would be forced to watch the PDA between those two lovebirds. "Wait!" a breathy female voice called from the hallway, and a second later, a middle-aged, red-headed woman appeared at the main door with food containers in her hands. "This is food for the road. I don't want you kids to go hungry." Damon stifled a laugh and shook his head. For her, they would always be kids. Damon accepted food containers without complaining. "Thank you, Steph." Stephanie took care of the pack house, handling tasks that usually fell to a Luna, and Damon often joked that he would marry her. The Luna of the pack took care of the pack house, and she ensured that the pack members stayed happy, while Alpha handled security and made sure everything ran smoothly within the pack and with their external relationships, allies, and enemies. To explain Alpha and Luna roles in simple language, Alpha took care of the needs, while Luna took care of the wants, and only when Alpha and Luna worked in harmony could the pack grow and prosper. Damon didn't have a Luna, so those duties split between Stephanie and Maya, with Stephanie focusing on the pack house while Maya kept an eye on the pack members. Stephanie had been Damon's mother's best friend, and her mate served as the beta of the Dark Howler's pack when Damon's father, Alpha Jacob, led as the Alpha. Stephanie's mate died with Damon's parents. Stephanie had a daughter, Lisa, who turned 8 years old at that time, and Damon treated Lisa like his baby sister. With the demise of Alpha and Luna of the Black Howler's pack, the situation became unstable, and Stephanie couldn't leave Damon on his own. So she decided to send her daughter to her sister for safety reasons. It took about 2 years for Peace to return to the Black Howler's pack, and by then Lisa adapted to life with her aunt and uncle, and they decided that she would stay there. Lisa still visited occasionally, mostly during summer break and on holidays. For the last decade, Stephanie treated Damon as her child, and everyone in the pack loved and respected